In this video, we're going to walk through the exact automation you can start using. So when you go out and you're sending proposals to businesses and you're going and having them engage and accept your proposal, going and doing the follow-up that occurs after the deal has been closed. One of the most important things is getting fast, effective, and efficient communication to a customer who just accepted your offer and getting them through the process as fast as humanly possible in a positive way, in a streamlined way. And what we're going to go and do a very simple version of that. So you have a window into what it could be, getting yourself started. You can use this exact automation. Again, it's going to be in our AI vault, so you'll be able to have it access into the description below, as well as all the other automations that we've put together. And what this is going to ensure is every single time a person comes through and accepts your PandaDoc proposal, we're then going to go and take their details and some general training that we've done and personalize it to them and what we do. We're then going to update our current CRM because in a lot of instances, you have like a place where you get general customer data. And when a customer actually closes, you really go and push them to like your official CRM. Then we're going to go and notify our sales team, hey, XYZ just filled out your proposal. They are accepted. Please do this next step. And then finally, we're going to get a message out in front of that user using this training information to going, hey, we're so excited to have you. Here's our next steps. Here's who's going to reach out to you and here's what to expect, right? So we technically could ignore using AI in this instance and have a more like linear process that is even more efficient. It really is going to depend on how effective of an automation or how unique you want each one to be. So I want to earmark that right now. You don't have to inject AI, but if you want some extra spice, some extra customization, some extra personalization that feels a little bit more unique, then use AI. It'll just make it a little bit easier. Okay. So for this example, we're going to use a handful of tools. Literally, it's going to be Gmail. We're going to have Slack, some type of instant messenger. We're using InCharge as sort of like our functional CRM in this instance. This one isn't super important for this. We're using OpenAI and we're using PandaDoc. Now, if you don't have access to any of these, again, you can really easily set them up. They're not too difficult. In order to connect any and all of them into this system, all you do is once you've come in to make, you've hit new scenario, you're going to just hit add, and you're going to hit the platform. If you don't have one of the platforms and you want to connect it, let's just choose one that I probably don't have connected in here. We'll just, I don't know, I've got a bunch. We'll say Shopify. You know, it shows you the options, but you'll see like when I click on it, it needs us to hit create a connection. So we're just going to go through, choose the connection type, right? And you're going to hit save, and then it's going to go through and create it for us, right? So, of course, we're not using it, but I've already connected all of these, so it's pretty easy. Again, if you're using this exact flow, you'll be able to just come in here, hit import blueprint, and you'll get the exact build that we're walking through. Great. So we've done the overview. In this example, we're going to say we're like an HVAC company and we have people go out and do physical service, and we're using PandaDoc to sort of manage the proposals that our sales team generates and sends to users. And then from there, we're going to do a customized follow-up. We're going to update our CRM. We're going to notify our sales rep, John, and then John is going to send an email out to our customer. So how does this work? Well, we got to start with the following. We're going to come in here into PandaDoc. We're going to create a document. Now, if you just come in, you just started, you're going to be able to come in here. Let's do the HVAC proposal template, add item. We're going to choose, I'm going to choose a client in this instance just manually. So we're going to say, hey, we're going to get out in front of Kale. We're going to hit continue. And of course, you're going to be able to go through. You could create your own templates, but in this instance, we're just going to use the one that's already baked in. And we're going to make sure we've got all of the fields that we want. Now, for this one, I'm going to say that we don't need our team's internal signing, but you could. So we're going to need the client's information. As you can see, here's Kale Riggs. So they're going to come in, they're going to sign this when we send it to them, and it should be immediately approved. So that's great. Now, if you want to add in the ability to receive payments through your invoice, all you do is come here to payment and connect your Stripe or PayPal, hit get started, and you can use any of these options. And essentially how that'll work is you'll really easily just connect these and you will come down and set up your integrations via this. So you can add in your pricing table. So that way when they go and hit accept, they can then make their initial payment with you. But in this instance, we're just going to have them go through, review our contract and approve it. And then our team's going to go through and do the rest. Maybe we pay as soon as we start service, right? And so we have the template. I'm not going to go through and customize this. I think this works just for our example just fine. And we're going to leave this for right now. What we then need to do is make sure we have these platforms connected. So again, we're just going to walk right through this really quick. How this is going to work, we're going to hit here. We're going to click PandaDoc. We're going to watch documents. We're going to make sure we've connected our platform. We're then going to hit add module, click OpenAI. We're going to create a completion. The reason we want to create a completion is this is what we're building. We're creating the output, right? Now, in here, I'm going to streamline some of our writing because I am a terrible typer in terms of speed. So how this works is we're going to come here. You know, at this time, you could really use any of these systems. I would say probably the cheapest and more effective one is probably going to be 4.1. It's the latest and greatest, and it's pretty nice. It's pretty good. So how do we do this? Well, we're going to go to messages, role. We're going to do developer system. So you usually want to give it an initial prompt saying, hey, this is who you are. This is your task. Here's your background. Here's like your set and setting, right? You don't just go and give your sales rep an account management. Well, you don't give your sales rep an accounting task, right? So you got to go and say, hey, you're an accountant. Do these things. This is what you're responsible for. This is how you're going to help us. This is the type of expectation I'm setting you for, right? Or putting you in. So this is what we're doing. Your helpful and intelligent writing assistant who helps create sales and customer onboarding emails when a customer completes a purchase. Your task is to help with all of these things. They're going to be reaching out to John. In this instance, we're hard coding who it's from just to make it easier. But you can definitely just say coming from our team, whomever we share, and then doing that. So we're going to hit save on this. We're going to come back over to this one because I've already done some mapping and I want to capture this and just talk through it. So in here, what you then want to do is you want to do at least one round of super basic training. So I went through and I stated, hey, take the following info from the user and then provide an email from John to the user and ensure the output is in HTML format and nothing else. Why do we want HTML format? Well, if we just tell it to give us a text output for our email, it's literally going to dump it all in like a box, like a big old paragraph. And we want it to look pretty. We want it to be formatted nice and actually look like the emails everyone normally sees. So in order to do that, we say provide it in HTML format. But if you just tell it this, it's actually not going to do exactly what you want. It is going to give you the email in HTML format, but it's going to introduce itself. It's like, hey, here's the email I just wrote for you in HTML format, puts it in code blocks, and then gives you the HTML format. We don't want all the extra stuff because then it's going to send that to the end user. So how do we mitigate that? Well, we're going to first give here first name, proposal name, location, maybe the very basic details that we want to send. And then we're going to go and do this output. So in here, I had it run once. And we got this output, this example output, right? And so what I'm telling it here is, hey, this is the expectation I have of you, the assistant, and this is what I want it to look like. I need it to be like this. I don't need it to look like anything else. Great. Now, here's that same request again, and here's what I want you to pass. So let's update this location, and let's see what we have. Do we have a location detail in here? We're going to do city. Nah, we don't. We're just going to say the location is like a hard-coded region for the business because they are only in North Carolina. Fantastic. So we're going to hit save and continue. What we're doing here is, if you look at this, we're just going to be looking at the connected proposal for the thing that's the element that's before it. And we're going to go, hey, we don't want created by, we want the client. So we're going to come down to recipient and put in recipient's first name. What's the proposal name? If you know there's a reason for it to be unique. And then we're going to say the location. You could add in as many variables or fields that you want here. It will help to provide more unique, more actionable data and more actionable insights or customized emails. But in this instance, we're just going to use these two. Great. So we have that. We ran it. We then get the example output. See, here's the example. Hey, welcome to HVAC service. Here's our information. We're so excited to have you here. Then what it does, now what we're doing is we're going to look at our CRM. So in this instance, we're using in charge, right? And we could do a handful of things. We could say update or create a person. In this instance, we're going to say, let's create that person. So we're going to create them because in our CRM, we try to only have active customers within our CRM, just so that way we know that they previously have bought from us in some way, shape, or form, and we're not just dumping, 50,000 potential leads that may or may not actually turn into something. Maybe that's in like an outreach system that we're using, like Limlist or Instantly or what have you, right? It's like a pre-CRM CRM. Think of it that way. A lot of more businesses that we've connected with have been moving to this sort of format just because a lot of platforms like HubSpot are charging you $800, $1,000 for adding all these extra contacts when you could put it in something like Limlist or Instantly and it'd be like $100 a month. So you have better management of not official customers and customers, and so that way you can more effectively segment and get in front of them, right? So, we're going to create a person in this instance. We do our connection and we'll be able to come in and pass through the corresponding details, right? We'll go email. We want to go first name. We go last name. We'll do first name and last name, so on and so forth. We'll be able to go through and update fields matching the available fields that we get. So we've done that. What we now want to do, honestly, before we do anything else, we want to just test this. So I'm going to delete these because we want to look at the active modules that are running here. We're going to save it and we're going to hit run once. We're going to use existing data and we're going to just do that. So you see here, I have a filter. I didn't go into this just yet, but I want to present to you what it looks like currently so we have a good starting point. So we did see that our 3 initial build outs here do successfully work. So what does that mean? So when we open up this little action icon, we'll see the following status. So we'll see the status of this is completed, which is the status that we want. We want to see the following from at least PandaDoc, that when the status of a proposal is completed, we know that the proposal has been accepted, which is fantastic. Any other status ends up meaning that it's not actively ready. So in here, we're going to do the following to ensure that only statuses that contain the word completed move forward, which means that we can then send out custom messaging to that user. So how does that work? Well, we're going to open this up. We're going to create a condition. We're going to look at that automation or the sequence. We're going to go, hey, look, status. Then we're going to come in and instead of using equal to or not equal to or exist, we're going to click contains. And in contains, we're just going to type in the word completed because now it's going, hey, if this word exists or value sequence exists within the output, then we're going to move on to the next steps. Otherwise, we'll just ignore it. So then the OpenAI outreach worked. Here's our result. Great. Thank you for moving forward with us. As the next step, we'll be reaching out to you directly. Blah, blah, blah. Here's the person, John. And then we were able to successfully push in the person's information. Fantastic. Okay, great. So now we're going to go through and work through the next one. So what I love doing is communicating and educating our team of what is occurring, when it's happening. So that way people are in the know as soon as something occurs and isn't having to actively go to their CRM and go, oh my gosh, XYZ actually messaged or accepted something. I needed to have reached out. Well, this is what we're going to do. So we are going to do one of those things for them. We're going to automate the email outreach, but maybe we want to call them. And then, the easiest way to do that, notify the team members. How do we do that? We're going to right click, add a module, choose whatever platform you're using, Facebook, Instagram, your own CRM. You could do a text message, what have you. I have Slack. We like using Slack. So hit Slack. We are going to create a message. Maybe you want to send a message to like the whole sales board, like, oh my gosh, we just closed a new deal. You can do that. Totally fine. In this instance, we're going to send a message to a specific sales rep. I'm going to delete this one because I already have one. In this instance, we chose from a list. And all that means is it's just going to look at your existing account that you've got and looking for the people. So we did direct message. We looked for me. I found my name. And then we put in a little bit of the format of what we've got. So what we want to do is we want to likely come in here and pull in the details that came from our PandaDoc proposal. So that way we've got all of the lovely details that we need to make sure we pass over, right? Now, again, we could add in first name, last name, email, phone number, what have you. In this instance, we're just passing first name, email, some other general info on the proposal just to make it nice and easy, right? So it's like, yo, first name, last name, just signed and accepted XYZ proposal. Make sure to reach out to them to do an initial in-person meeting for installation. Fantastic. So let's do a quick test. Let's see here. And there we go. I'm going to put this in. So we're going to go John Jacobs. H proposal. Okay, fantastic. So here we go. Boom. John Jacobs. Yo, John Jacobs just signed and accepted the HVAC proposal. Make sure to reach out to do a in-person meeting for installation. Look at that. Already went through. We know it works. We know we're not going to have any issues using this flow. Now let's do the final part. Just to, again, this is just a good starting point. You can make this as elaborate and as expansive as you want, but you need to start with something simple that works, that's going to be repeatable, that will not break before you get crazy. Often people are sitting here showing you insanely fancy automations. Here's the issue. You're going to have those. Something's going to happen and you're not going to understand why it broke, where it broke, why it's not working. And so sometimes it's easier to have absurdly simple ones that you know are going to move the needle than to have a 400-step automation that's going to break somewhere down the line and cost you a ton unnecessarily. So again, simple is better. Keep it simple. So we're done with the Slack. We know it works. We're now going to go and look at our Gmail. So within Make, you have a couple options. You can just do the direct Gmail, or you can look up email, and you see that they have like their own built-in email provider connection thing. You still connect your own Gmail account to it. It's just you're using one of these two sequences. I recommend, if you have a Gmail, use Gmail. It's easier. It's not going to break as often. It'll be good. Come in. We now want to look at the following. Make your connection. And you're going to see this. So let's just start this over real quick. We're going to go to Gmail. We're going to send an email. You can draft it. You can just draft it if you'd like. I'm comfortable with it. I'm going to just send the email over to them. So who are we sending it to? Well, great question. We're going to look up email. We're going to look up the recipient's email. And then what's that subject line? Well, that subject line, maybe we don't want this hard-coded. So excited to work with you to your right HVAC needs. Or we're to say name. We'll just do name. So now we're going to look up first name. We're so excited to help you with all your HVAC needs. All right, so there we go. We gave it a beautiful subject line. We're now going to come in and we're going to actually get the output from ChatGPT. And all you gotta do is dump in the result here, because here's the content. So think of this as the subject line, right? This is the context. This is like the big old body block that you fill in. And so all you gotta do, come down to OpenAI, and you can choose content or you can choose result. Either one's fine in this instance. Hit save, and then when we run it, it's going to pass that data through. So let's go through, try it one more time, use existing data. That one failed. Fantastic. So let's send this email, continue and fill. Location, 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 location. We just want to pass in some general details here so we have something so we can get this going. Okay, and send email. Great. So now we're going to see this whole thing. Hey, here's the proposal. We're sending it. Let it do its thing. Fantastic. Proposal's been sent. Let's go check out the inbox. HVAC. Here's the HVAC proposal. Yeah, here's the proposal. Open the document. Fantastic. Great. I reviewed this. I'm scrolling as the client. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to buy your stuff. Accept and sign. Let me put in the date is today. We are going to finish. And if we have this turned on, I don't have it turned on. If it was finished and it was turned on, then this would auto reply. However, let's just go through. We're going to run this. Use existing data. Great. You're going to see that document was sent. Document was viewed. Document completed. And so then, boom, bada bang, goes over to him. We're going to then go over to the email address. Boom. Gmail. Here's our approval. There we go. Oh, here we go. There we go. My bad. I looked at the wrong spot. So here we go. Hey, just so excited for you to be on board. Here's all your details. And it's been sent through. So if you want to be able to do something like this and just expand it out, definitely let me know. I love this type of setup. It's best, again, when you're doing these things to build small modular flows like this than for you to go and then be like, oh my God, well, now I got to add onboarding into this flow. I need to go and make it more advanced. I need to build like 30 other trees off of this. With AI becoming smarter and automations becoming better and better, you want to start small, like what we've got in here as the example, and then expand on it. So I hope this idea in this direction gives you a great pathway for how you can go through, automate the follow-up and unique customization for each of your proposals. So that way, as people come through, they get a better and better experience with you and your business. If you want to get access to this and so much more, don't forget to subscribe. Click the link down below. You'll be able to get access to this automation and so many more. I've got the JSON files, all the information. Most of them are going to have videos so that we have a clear walkthrough of how to do it, when to do it, how to update it and customize it to yourself. Other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you later.